Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Tiki Talk. Colleen O'Neill.
Jen Scheffer.
Today, Jen, we've decided to talk about parenting plans. So please go back and watch our other videos on prepping for divorce, what you need for divorce,
Assembling a team.
Now we're going to talk about I think one of the most crucial points.
And the hardest one to get through. This
Absolutely.
is a sticking point for a lot of people. Like, how do you deal with parenting the children? How do you deal with a schedule? How do we look at life's ups and downs and the changes that we have in life?
Yes.
What do we do when we find them? I mean, we've got a lot of variables going on here. So this is a really important one, Colin.
Parenting plans are like the essence of the most important thing during a divorce. I can't speak enough to that. It also has to be one of those things that, for me, it's the most structured, the most detailed piece, because I think the more details you have, meeting the expectations, who's dropping when, what, you avoid arguments down the road. Now, not everybody needs a structured plan, but I think everybody, or I shouldn't say everybody wants a structured plan, but I think everybody needs one.
Well, I think everyone needs structure in general, so this only makes sense.
Right, but if you can have people that have flexibility, they really get along, that's great, but I would still put a structured plan in place for when the day may come that you don't get along so well, or it's not so easy.
Can you do a parenting plan in that respect where people get along and it's a very amicable situation? But can you do something when it pertains to things like grandparents or extended family? Does it make sense if you have that kind of a relationship to even include how that's going to look?
The best parenting plans include everybody. So you would want to talk about grandparents but you can't make the other person include anybody other than mom and dad and the grandkids.
Well, that's fair.
Unless those grandparents are also part of the care.
Oh, that was my next question. So that happens a lot in extended families these days, or in multi-generational families. There are more and more of those everywhere, and they're at all different income levels. So it's not everybody's being segmented into one little area, but that's a very important thing, because there are a lot of grandparents who are responsible for the childcare component when it comes to kids.
Absolutely.
Can you look at them as, an extension of family, or can you look at them as an actual business owner? Can you look at them as a type of establishment where it's like you would go to a YMCA? Can you use your parents?
Oh, sure. I think parents have my mom, I remember would take my daughter, and again, that's my mother taking my daughter, but that's still her grandmother taking her to preschool, being there during swim class, all those things when I had to work. Like, that was just part of the plan I needed in order to help assist so that I could work, go to grad school, all those things. But I think for parents today, if you have grandparents that you both feel love and your child will be safe with, that's it. Because you remember, the marriage is unraveling.
Right, not the family.
Not the extended family. Those kids still need their grandparents. Those grandparents typically just want to love on the grandchild. They're not looking to hate one another. So if you don't have to go down that road, don't. But I will say, on the parenting plan, you want to cover every holiday. You want to cover what the holidays look like. I would never put in a parenting plan where both parents have to be there on Christmas Day or Christmas morning. If that's something you like, put it in. You can ask each other, but I wouldn't have that written in that makes somebody responsible, because 10 to 1, and most people are going to go on and meet somebody else. Right?
That's true.
And so you don't want to have to be obligated to show up on Christmas Day. You can't bring your partner or any other children you may go down the road and have. So, but if you can have those conversations on the side, but in the parenting plan, you should have what Christmas looks like with it. But I go from January 1 through December 31st, every holiday in there, Jewish holidays, whatever, Kwanzaa, school holidays, pickup points, drop off points.
What about, let's say snow days? How do you address snow days? Do you address snow days?
You do.
What if if you're in a position where you still have to go to work? What happens with the children on snow days? Do you need to get permission?
All covered.
What about permission from your spouse to leave them alone? I mean, at what age is that okay? When do you go back and revisit parenting plans? I mean, when kids are 6, they're very different. Their needs are very different than when they're 15. I mean, is it important to look at this as a regular moving document?
It is. So every April 15th, if I just say April 15th, if you're from the United States, then you know April 15th. Taxes. April 15th, if you're divorced, should also mean review of parenting plan.
Great idea.
And so
who does that?
I do. Come to me. You'll get that. I do. April 15th.
Do you know I've never had to review my parenting plan ever?
Yeah, because what'll happen, you get one parenting plan, say like you and I were, we had young kids, but now they're 10 years old or 15
Very
or 12.
different.
The same parenting plan for a 2 or 3-year-old is not going to be the same parenting plan for a 13-year-old. And so that parenting plan has to grow and tweak with the child.
I didn't think about that because, I have a financial mind. So I always look at it as your financial plan changes with every stage of your life, but I didn't really consider the parenting side of it.
Yes.
And that's probably more important.
It is. And really what's changing is the children, not you. The children are growing. And so that parenting plan, which is supposed to support the children.
Right. Because we forget. I mean, as parents, I know that it's like, oh God, I would really like one more day up here in Vermont. The conditions are amazing. Can't you just keep the kid one more night? When it was my ex's turn to have the children and I would go skiing. And I didn't even look at it from their perspective.
Yeah. It's from the parenting plan isn't for the parents.
I thought it was.
It's for the kids.
For me, it was.
It's to give the kids safety, stability, right? And consistency. And they need all of that. These kids need to know who's picking them up when, where they're supposed to be. And it's not to make your life easier because in reality it doesn't. But it is but it is to make the children's life.
It's that structure.
It is. More doable.
I think, I know that I work better with a plan. I don't care what the plan is for, whether it's for a birthday party. It's like, okay, I got these 10 things they have to get accomplished by X date. So what am I doing to make sure that they're getting accomplished by X date? Well, this person hasn't responded. I got to follow up. So I feel better with a plan. So it only makes sense that children would as well.
Just like if someone's delivering a cake to a birthday party, you want to know what time the cake is coming so you can plan the dinner. Well, if your children are getting delivered back to your home, you want to know what time that is so you can actually have dinner ready.
Now, what happens if your ex-spouse doesn't abide by the parenting agreement? What do you do?
Do you think that ever happens?
Never. I can't even imagine. It's a hypothetical.
In case that ever happens, if your ex is not abiding by the parenting plan, then what you have to do is document. A one-off is nothing, but if there's a pattern, then you can seek the court's help and you go in and you modify your parenting plan to now that you have dates, times, and there's consistency in showing that that person is not abiding by the parenting plan. That really is in contempt of court. It's in contempt of the parenting plan.
So again, we've talked about that building, that building that starts with a C and ends with a T, and it's a 5-letter bad word, right? Yes, 5-letter bad word. Sorry.
If you don't want to go back to court.
If you can avoid it,
all right,
what are your choices?
Let me just say, when I do my mediations, you'll see the last line pretty much all the time. If the parties cannot agree, the parties have to go up to mediation first. And if you have a partner that's constantly dragging you to mediation, you can actually ask the mediator to assess costs to someone who might be kind of doing that on purpose to always engage with the ex.
Okay.
So, but barring that's not going on, do seek mediation. Sometimes you can just tweak the parenting plan and it makes a big difference for everybody.
So as you see, there are a lot of variables here and we can't really cover everything at once, which is why you really need to schedule a session if this is important to you. So I would encourage anybody that's got these questions or is going through this and has maybe some challenges and they want to go deeper into it to just get in touch with either one of us or both of us if you wish. So you'll find all our contact information here and please feel free to use the resources at your disposal because it only helps you.
It's free information, everybody.